Hello and welcome to eOption. Today, my name is Scott Berry. I'm a trader on eOption's trade desk. Today, I'm going to go over the account information tab or widget on your trading platform. The account information widget gives you all the information in your account from where your money is, your position values, orders outstanding, and so forth. So there's numerous line items to this widget, and I'm going to go over each one and explain basically what each one entails. So the account information widget, depending on how you have your trading platform set up, could be integrated into a window such as I have here. It's on the left-hand side. You're more than welcome, and I have done this for people or showed them how to do it. You could put it on its own tab. So in doing so, you would create a new tab called tab 1. In tab 1, then you would then add the account information widget. And this way, you could have it all on its own tab, and you can then see everything, including the account value graph, which is off to the right, which you can change the date range and so forth. It's sort of like your account value over time. Once it's in there, then you could rename this. A lot of times I tell people they can name it account info, or they can name it balances. And then you would lock your platform down and you would have it all on one page. So now that I have it separated onto one page, I'm going to go over each item. So typically the first line item is going to be the account type that you're in. Currently, I'm in a margin test account. A lot of people may have an IRA linked. It would say that it's either a cash account or an IRA account up there on the first line item. Now, the next line item is account value. This is going to be the same number that you see in the upper right-hand screen where you see net liq value, account value, and buying power. The account value is basically where your account was at the beginning of the day or yesterday's close. This is a static number. It does not change based on trades or market movement during the day. We get a lot of questions about that, but that's the number that it was at the beginning of the day. The next tab is a dynamic number, and this is your position market value. So as you can see, it's not changing at the moment, but it will change from time to time depending on what your positions are doing. You see it just blipped a few dollars. This is what your position value is. And if you go to your positions, sum it all up and subtract out any short obligations, that's what your position market value would be. The next line item is the trade date balance. And to me, this is one of the most important numbers on the account information tab. What it is, that is your physical cash position. So if you go in and sell a stock for $10,000, this number would immediately go up by 10,000. And that's basically, if you don't want to go on margin, you don't want this number to be negative. A lot of people, have called in and seen buying power in their account, not necessarily realizing that they might be slightly on margin or on margin, and they really only want to use the cash in your account. If you only want to use the cash, this is the number that you don't want to go negative in a margin account. You want to keep this a positive number. Now, CIP and money market, those numbers are currently 0 in this account. That's where your money would go once your trades have settled. So if you've sold $10,000 worth of stock, everything's settled, it will settle over to the money market. Now, sometimes the money market can have a positive number and your trade day balance can be a different number. How that would happen is if you recently bought a stock, but it hadn't settled yet. You bought a stock in the last 2 days, today or the prior day. The money market is not going to sweep over and pay for the stock until settlement, which is 2 business days, or the next day for options. So that money market number may not always match the trade date balance, but it will if you haven't had any kind of activity for a while. Or, and assuming you're not on margin. Obviously, if you're on margin, you're not going to have any money market. The CIP is it's another kind of money market. If you've signed up for that one, the money would be in the CIP versus the money market. The next line item is unsettled cash. In a margin account, typically this number is going to stay zero. This is going to be more for when you are trading in an IRA, either a Roth or traditional, or a cash account that does not have a margin agreement on it. So if you would sell $10,000 worth of stock, it would then show you have, let's say, 10,000 in your trade date balance, but that it's unsettled. Why is this important? If you end up using some of that unsettled cash and do a round trip trade or a day trade, you can end up with a violation, a good faith violation. So this line item mainly pertains to unsettled cash from recent trades. Okay, then we'll go down to the next item, and this is your buying power section. And you'll notice the stock buying power is currently 143,000. Option buying power is half of that. If you are a day trade account, there will be a third line item. It's not currently in this item, but it will show a day trading buying power, which will typically be 4 times the option buying power. Again, the day trading buying power would only be used for day trades. These 2 buying powers are what you can hold overnight. The day trade buying power is for intraday only. So I am currently able to buy 143,000 of margin eligible securities. That's securities that are over $3. If I was to buy an option or a stock that's under $3, then you would need to use the option buying power. The next line item, pending orders count. So as you can see, I've queued up 2 different orders in here. And it shows that I have, this is useful because you can see that you have 2 active orders working. If you go back to the account summary, which still has the, you can see I have the 2 active orders. I have a sell on Microsoft and a buy on Ford at $12. When you go here, the buy of Ford is what's holding $12,000. The sell of Microsoft would not be holding any funds whatsoever. So if I go in and let's say I cancel the Ford order, you will see now that I have only 1 pending order with nothing withholding anything from my buying power. My buying power has increased to 167 and then option buying power to 83. That's very useful. You can see, why is my buying power so low? We get questions sometimes, and people may not realize they have good till cancel orders that they had placed maybe a month ago that are in their holding buying power. The next line item is maintenance margin. So this number reflects the overall maintenance margin on all the positions in the account. So that would be your stock positions. This doesn't mean you're on margin. It just, that is the requirement to hold the stock and whatever option positions we have in there. So if you go back, you can see we have Microsoft, Tesla, and a couple spreads. That maintenance margin reflects these positions in their total maintenance that's being held. The option maintenance margin, which is the next line item, is $5,500. So we must have a spread in the account that's holding $5,500 against it. And as you can see, there's a Tesla put spread, credit spread, that is 5 points times 10 contracts. That's what's holding the $5,500. Actually, excuse me, the Apple and the Tesla. We have an Apple credit spread that's holding 500 and the Tesla's holding 5,000. So this is a good way to see if you have any kind of option obligations, and this is your overall margin obligation. Unrealized P&L, that will give you the unrealized P&L that on all the positions in your account. P&L today, that was what was realized. I sold the stock earlier in the demo account and I realized a loss of $189. If you sell something obviously for a profit, this will be a positive number. If you had a numerous positions in here, this will be your overall unrealized P&L. Now, the last 4 line items are going to be the types of margin calls. You have a maintenance. Currently, we don't have any margin calls. If you have questions regarding these, feel free to call in to the margin and ask for me. I'm Scott in Margins on the trade desk. But I'll go over them briefly. Maintenance call would be where your margin maintenance, you don't have enough trade date balance or market value to support it. So you would have some sort of maintenance call number here. An initial call would be where you have overspent your account. Typically, this will happen potentially in a day trade account that used some of their day trade buying power to hold a position overnight. The house call is all pretty much going to be identical to the maintenance call in most cases, except if you have fallen below the house requirements of naked options, such as fallen below the minimum 25,000 to hold naked puts. The equity call is again, that's going to pop up if your equity has reached a level similar to it's going to be very similar to the house call. And last, again, the graph on the right-hand side. This is something you can adjust the dates. Currently, if you can go back to, let's say, December 4th, December 1st of last year, you can just see how your account has gone up or down over time. That's just kind of just a side graph that you want to see, how you've been doing, so to speak. So that pretty much covers all of the items in the account information tab. If you have any questions, feel free to give one of us a call on the trade desk, and we'd be more than happy to help go over these numbers. Thank you.